We saw the median home price of homes in Reno-Sparks increase for the month of May. How much did they go up to? And what are we seeing with all this extra inventory? I'm Garrett Stewart, and it's time to take a look at what happened for last month. Let's take a look. All right, jumping right into prices, we can see that we went from last month of $585,000 median home price up to $595,000 and some change in median home price. So we did see an increase there of over $10,000. So we've been seeing that go up. Again, this is usually normal. You can see of last summer as well that we did go up as well, peaking in August. So we may see that continue and go over that 600 threshold potentially for June. But we'll continue to watch and see. There's a couple things that we might see a little bit change that maybe we might not hit it, but stay tuned to find out. All right, jumping into median days to contract. So we can see, remember last month, if you watch, we saw the median days to contract go up from 14 to 17 days. I was a little surprised and a little nervous on that, but we did see that come back down to 13 days to contract. And so what we see there is compared that still to last year, that was 11 days last year. So still a little bit longer than last year, but not as dramatic as before. So good news is we saw that number come back down. I just didn't want to see that continue to go upward. We have seen more homes hit the market. We'll get in the inventory for a moment, but that's probably one of the biggest reasons is more competition. How quickly does it take for your home to go under contract in your price range? Well, let's take a look and see. You can see that pretty much all of these ranges actually went down except for the 300 to 399 as well as that 750 to 999 price point. So everything else we did actually see go down and sell a little bit faster than the previous month. Jumping to solds, we're going to look at new listings and as well as inventory. And this just looks over the last few months and kind of see the trends that are happening. And you can see, look at that inventory start to increase. We'll look a little bit closer at that in just a moment. But you can see that we did see new and sold listings go up month over month. So we're seeing more listings hit the market. Went from 548 to 601, so about 50 more listings. But watch inventory here in just a moment in the next tab, because you can see already here went from 821 to 974, but we only saw 50 more listings increase. So we'll get to that. But we'll see the solds are going up as well from 375 to 420 homes sold last month. This is single family homes in Reno-Sparks. And there's our curve for inventory. So you can see, look at that, since April of last year, we have not been this high for a little bit. So we're seeing a lot more options. So buyers out there, you have a few more choices to look at, which is kind of nice. And sellers, you have a little bit more competition. You may need to adjust either your price, or you may need to adjust that compelling features, maybe making sure everything is a little bit more touched up, painting, maybe a little bit more clean, whatever it is. Every little bit stands out when you have a little bit more competition. So talk to your agent, hopefully myself here, about what you can do. But you can see inventory is increasing. If you're a seller, how many homes are in your competition right now? And if you're a buyer, how many homes are available in your price point? This is a good graph for you. So you can take a look and you can see that pretty much, actually every single one of them, the inventory increased. So, the 300 to 399 went up one home, but everything else still went up quite a few homes. So inventory was increasing in all of the price ranges there. Now we like to look at what's called the month supply of inventory. And what this tells us is the supply and demand essentially, or is it a buyer's market or seller's market? The higher the number, the closer to a buyer's market. The lower the number, the closer to a seller's market. So we saw it trend upward just slightly, and you can see it went from 2.2 to 2.3. So nothing dramatic there, but we did see it slightly go closer to in favor of buyers. But still, it really goes more towards the buyers once we start crossing over that 5 months threshold. So we're still nowhere near like a super buyer friendly. And once we get under 2 is where it can kind of get more competitive with the sellers as well. So that's where we're sitting right now. Let's take a look at pending sales by month. And with that, this is an interesting one because you can see we saw quite the drop Last year from April to May, we went from 417 to 407. This one, we went 434 to 338. So a lot less up for pending homes. Now, I do have a theory on this, and I don't know if it's for sure. We did switch the Northern Nevada Regional MLS, actually, which is what feeds all the listings. That's what real estate agents such as myself put your listing in. And then it disseminates to, the Zillows, the Realtor.coms, some of those sites as well. But that site that we use actually changed complete software. So we changed this in mid-May. And with that, there was actually a gap there of a few days where there was no homes coming off or going on the market. And because of that, I do think maybe that had a play in some of it, but I don't know for sure. We'll see if this is a pattern or maybe just a fluke. But something very interesting, because we haven't, that's a pretty low number for that we see for May. So we'll keep an eye on that. If it happens, if it still stays low below that 400 threshold, maybe for June last year, June it was 371. But if we still saw it kind of more dramatically lower, I might be a little bit more concerned. But if not, then I think it may have been a fluke. But that still forecasts is what we're going to see. So we'll see what solds happen in June as well, and see what happens there. Because if that sold count goes down in June, that may prove it true as well. How many homes sold in your price range last month, or went pending, I should say. And you can see here that pretty much most of them all went down. Less homes sold in all of those price ranges, which except for the only one being the 1 to 1.5 million, went from 24 homes sold to 32 homes sold. So very interesting there. Now let's dive into the submarkets, starting with Reno. Big things to watch here: inventory up, more than 50% year over year, 672 homes on the market. So that is more than we had in all of Reno and Sparks the same time last year. So kind of interesting there. And then you can see that the closed sales. So we saw, look at all that we had. New listings were up year over year. Inventory is up year over year significantly. But look at those closed sales is down 8%. So pretty interesting on there. But head over to Sparks. We did see, price is slightly dropped for the month, but look at the inventory there as well. Increased a bunch still, not as much as Reno, but still a bunch. New listings was down though, a decent 15% year over year, as well as those median days to contract was year over year was 21, up 21. So it took a little bit longer, and the closed sales, look at that, a bit up as well. So kind of interesting how Reno and Sparks kind of have those, can vary a little bit from each other. So we're seeing Sparks be a little bit more desirable, and probably the price point definitely helps them as well. You'll see it's a lower median home price. So heading down to our capital of Carson City, 585 median home price. Look at that for inventory, down year over year. So that's an interesting thing there. And look at the new listings, down 21% year over year. And with that, closed sales are down 10% year over year. So what does that tell us? If you're a seller in Carson City, you might have more of an opportunity there versus maybe Reno and Sparks. Now, Reno and Sparks, you still have some great opportunities. I don't want to discourage you, but for Carson City, if you are thinking about it, that there might be a little bit more, reasoning to put your home on the market, now. Heading over to Fernley, you can see median home price of just over $400,000, but active inventory of 89 homes. That is down 5% year over year. So another one that's down compared to, Reno and Sparks were 40 and 50%. So super interesting to see how these different submarkets can really change. New listings, you can see 58 homes hit the market. That's down 12% year over year. And the new listings or closed sales are down over 8%. Heading down to Gardnerville and Minden, you can see prices are up there with inventory at 92 homes available up there. So quite a bit of a jump. And what's really interesting, look at the new listings. Just last month just jumped up a bunch, up to, 62 isn't like a crazy number, but percentage-wise, it jumped up a decent amount. And even though the closed sales is down 4.5%. So really interesting to see how these different markets are reacting, but still homes are only selling 10 days to contract, which is pretty good for speediness. We're going to finish out with Reno-Sparks condos and townhomes. So if you are looking at maybe an affordable option, looking at condos and townhomes, you can see that median sales price is down to $339,990. Inventory 337. That's quite the jump year over year, as well as those new listings. Funny enough, even though the inventory is up a bunch, the new listings are down 4.8%. So we're not seeing as many homes sell. Look at the days to contract, 37 days, over a month now to get a home, or condo or townhome under contract. And with the closed sales, 101 sold. So we are up year over year for closed sales, but month over month we saw a slight decline. So really interesting to see these markets. We're going to keep tracking them, but if you are curious about the real estate market, be sure to message me. My contact information is all below, and I'm happy to text me, call me, email me, and let's connect and see how we can help you on the buy or sell side and see if it makes sense for you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you have not already, and watch my other videos up here, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.